Hello, everyone. Today we are here to talk about a paradox. So, we have the brand Lacoste on the one side, a French brand with over 90 years of history, born on a tennis court, built on European elegance, and known worldwide for one thing: the timeless polo shirt. On the other side, we have Brazil, a country full of life, passion, and bold self expression, a culture where luxury is not whispered, it is worn, it is lived, and it is celebrated out loud on the streets. So these two words could not seem more different, and yet something remarkable happened. Without any kind of strategy, without any campaign, and without any institutional decision from Lacoste's side, Brazil claimed the brand as its own. So Lacoste had an asset it never built. And for too long, way too long, it never fully recognized it. So this is the gap, and that is also the opportunity. So today we present our culturalization strategy, Lacoste X Brazil, o Belo do Croco.
So, our aha moment came when we realized the main challenge is not awareness, it's authenticity. Lacoste already has a strong identity built on French heritage, quiet luxury, quiet elegance, and sports such as tennis. In Brazil, culture is louder, more expressive, and deeply connected to the streets, futsal courts, music, and everyday life and community. So, the problem we're targeting is the gap between Lacoste as an imported luxury brand and Brazilian culture as something that's lived, shared, and emotionally expressed. We are not just selling a t shirt, we are connecting heritage of the polo with the lifestyle of the streets, from the favela lifestyle, futsal courts, to the everyday culture that defined modern day Brazil. Culturalization for us is not about changing Lacoste, it's about changing the context around it. So the brand feels less distant and more genuinely connected to Brazil. Lacoste brings the structure, heritage, and refinement. Brazil brings the movement and soul. So our pop-up is designed to bring those two worlds together in a way that feels more genuinely connected to the Brazilian people.
Hey, so to win in Brazil, to succeed, we had to dig into the GT Neo Brasileiro. It means our way of being creative, joyful, our way of living, of being. And it's incredible, the way it's adaptable. So we identified our key code, our key color code, the mustard yellow, the cobalt blue, and our own signature, this little green. So we blended it with a bold palette of international clean blue, that's how we call it, and the lime punch. So in Brazil, fashion is not just clothing. It's a culture. It's a way of expressing their feelings. People are being creative. It's a self-expression, and it's reflected even in the flag, the yellow, the blue, the green. So so we wanted to help people embrace communities, get together, and because our consumers they love being seen, and they love the fact that they can exhibit what they're wearing. It's yeah, as say this day form of expression.
To anchor our culturalization strategy, we rely on three messaging pillars. First one, o brilho da quebrada, isn't just an aesthetic. It elevates local pride and celebrates the innovation found within communities. Second, feito para se mover. This aligns our sporting DNA with the rhythmic activity nature of Brazilian daily life, from the beach to the baile funk. And finally, La La é nosso jeito. By adopting this organic community-given nickname, we reclaim our brand identity through the community's own language, a true sign of adapting and belonging to the Brazilian culture. So, how do we translate this community-first messaging into our actual visual environment? This brings us to what changes. We're pivoting from treating Brazil as a standard market to embracing it as a cultural mix. For the color board, we've moved to vibrant tones like lime punch and mustard yellow, serving as visual markers of contemporary Brazilian fashion. The location is shifting the brand from the tennis court to a real-world spaces like lajes that are rooftops and Rio's iconic landscapes. By leading into aesthetics of funk ostentação, We established credibility within the music scenes that dominate youth conversations, moving from exclusive clubwear into an aspirational community uniform. This strategy isn't just about clothes, it is how we successfully transform our brand perception from quiet luxury to loud, vibrant, community celebrated joy.
So before designing our activation, we built a mood board inspired by the contemporary Brazilian culture, and we combined iconic elements of Brazil with Lacoste's fashion heritage. And our goal was to create a campaign that feels authentically Brazilian rather than simply branded. So our hero activation is o Baile do Coco, the Crocodile's Ball, and it will be a series of immersive culture events held in Brazil's major cities, transforming iconic community venues into high-end brand experiences. And inside this event, two things will happen. First, a fashion showcase, in which there will be a runway featuring local Brazilian models presenting the Lacoste Brazil Capsule collection, styled in Lacostero aesthetic and celebrating the community's influence on fashion. And second, there will be a live performance from local artists performing songs that made Lala, Lacoste, iconic in Brazil with zero marketing spend from the brand. Running alongside the Obale do Croco will be the full Lala ecosystem. First, we have the Lala Nalae, which is in the real leg of the tour. There will be events hosted on our community rooftop and co-produced with local resident associations with free tickets reserved for the community. Then we have the Casa Lala, which will be our home, physical home in Brazil, which is a pop-up store designed by local artists and selling only exclusively the Brazil capsule. And then the Lala Customization Lab, which will be an interactive space inside every activation in which local artisans and people will be able to personalize their Lacoste pieces on site. And inside every single one of these pieces, there will be this tag, Feito para o Brasil, which is made for Brazil. And finally, we celebrate Lacoste's legacy with the Museum of Relics, which will be an immersive exhibition showcasing the brand's history and cultural impact in Brazil, with rare and vintage Lacoste pieces owned by real Lacosteros. And then beyond this event, there will be the Quadra Lacoste, which was a free and open access sport courts in selected cities for various sports with free access and also decorated around the campaign theme. Next, there will be a fashion design workshops with partnerships with local institutions for young Brazilians from these communities. And altogether, these activation will transform Lacoste from a fashion brand into a cultural platform, celebrating Brazilians' identities, communities, and creating authentic connections that feel locally rooted and globally relevant.
Why culturalization pays off. The numbers speaks for themselves. We are targeting a total admissible market of 45 million with a serviceable obtainable market of 4.5 million. With a reach of 16 million followers and a market size of almost $4.7 billion, the appetite for the culture fusion is clear. We are not just capturing market share, we are building cultural capital. Now, to conclude, Lacoste didn't change Brazil, Brazil changed Lacoste. And that is the whole point. We are moving from quiet luxury to a loud, vibrant celebration of joy. Thank you.